YouTube was happening. I go by the name of Fuego, a.k.a. Gino Fuego. Welcome to my channel, OG Fuego Reactions. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I drop some of this Fuego. Because I'm lit and I'm with all the shenanigans, you dig? Hey man, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a clip from whatever podcast delusional girl thinks her feelings are more important than reality. And I hope I don't lose a couple of brain cells watching this, man, but I ain't gonna waste no more of y'all time, man. Let's see what they talking about.
Projecting how you feel in a moment, in an exact moment, especially when you're heightened, your adrenaline's pumping, you're upset, you can have perceptions of a situation when it's not clear that that actually was what the situation is. It just comes down to, but I felt like that. Did he do anything to you? No, but I felt like he might. Did he actually? I felt like he might have, though. So these things, right, they're really kind of up in the air and there for interpretation. And so before I besmirch men as being abusive or narcissistic or any of these things, I like to see something ever get past the allegation point into the proof point, and that's the point where I get very, very little, right? And so I think that that's reasonable. I think it's logical. I think that people should engage in that more, but they don't. Instead, they just kind of map things onto how I felt in the moment, and then that makes how they felt truth when it may not actually be true.
All your thoughts are true. That's what I'm going to say.
Can I ask you something?
Hang on. Is that thought true?
All your thoughts are, where do your thoughts come from? Where do they come from? Can you tell me where your thoughts come from?
What the fuck?
From your brain.
But where? What part of your brain?
I don't know the exact part, but they come from your brain.
Where'd your brain come from?
Hell no!
Where does your brain come from? What part of your brain do your thoughts come from? Ain't even important in this conversation.
A few moments later.
Oh, it makes sense. She's trying to figure out which part of the brain she got to go to the doctor to get fixed. Something had to be broke for her to come up with the idea that all thoughts are true. She must have skipped past the part where we all thought Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy was real until we realized that our parents was putting that up under the pillow. I heard clearly what you asked me, but I'm not going to answer the question because I don't tell a lie, so that don't apply. Man, nice try. I can tell she be lying how she just danced around that man question like that.
Is it... How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
Philosophical conversation now, so off topic.
Anyway, whatever. I guess it's a side tangent. It doesn't really matter.
Can I ask you something?
Anyway, so the point is, though, is all I'm saying is that mapping how you feel onto a thing doesn't make it true. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean that that was the truth of the situation.
I'll disagree, but...
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Well, you can't disagree with that, right? You can disagree that in that situation I'm wrong, sure, but you can't disagree that just mapping a feeling onto a situation doesn't mean that the truth of the matter is that is how the situation was.
I am taking responsibility for my choices. I just, it was actually a trauma that I had that I fixed it with a different boyfriend and went haywire, so...
Yeah, no, I understand, but let me try again. Let me try it this way. If my daughter comes out and she says, "Dad, I feel like there's a monster under the bed," and I go in a room and I look under the bed and there's no monster under the bed, right? Is the truth of the matter that there is actually a monster under the bed because she feels like there is one?
But if your daughter came to you and she's 16 and she said, "Hey, a guy hit the wall next to my face,"
into feeling
like, would you not be upset about
It's a lot of
that?
gaslighting.
Hang on. Answer the question, then ask a question.
But this isn't imaginary.
If my daughter looked under her bed, I went and looked under her bed, there's no monster there. I showed her there's no monster there. How she feels.
She's not talking about an imaginary circumstance, though.
Is it possible for you to engage with the actual question and then ask yours? So, is how she feels the truth of the matter?
Lying is the root of all trauma.
Can you answer my question?
Literally.
Quiet.
Can you actually answer the question?
Who are you talking to, Alina or
Yeah,
me?
who are you talking to?
I'm talking to, this would be Laura. So, Laura, the question is, would the truth of the matter be that there was a monster under the bed, even if she felt like there was one?
No, there's no monster, but you're comparing this to actual domestic violence, which I don't really love. So that's where
I'm sorry you feel that way, but
I don't feel that way. Look up the definition of domestic violence.
The problem is with the comparison of feeling to feeling if we're judging whether the truth of the matter is the truth of the matter.
But this wasn't an imaginary boyfriend. Like an imaginary monster. Like you're comparing two things that are not the same.
Yeah.
No, I'm comparing
That's like
feelings.
asking somebody
No,
if that
There's
were
no
not.
feeling. It's not a feeling.
It's not
Is
a
that
feeling.
blue or is that green? I could say that's red.
It is a
if I really
feeling.
wanted to.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's a feeling, right? If you punch a wall, you can't tell me that you can determine intent based off of somebody punching a wall. You can't determine that. You can only feel a certain way about it.
I mean, that's true, though, for real. So apparently this lady got a 16-year-old daughter who got a boyfriend that got upset and punched the wall. Whether or not it was close to her face, only the parties that were involved know the truth. Could be true, could be exaggerated. All he was saying is that you can't take how you feel about punching the wall and then automatically assume that he would abuse your daughter. Just because you feel like that don't make it a reality. What I will say is the boyfriend need to learn how to manage his emotions because punching walls ain't cool neither.
He ain't lying.
That's it.
But if the person is punching the walls,
I just think you're minimizing
he would be
DV, and if you
punching
look
the
up the
walls on the first
definition,
date
like it's
and
there.
the second date, and right from the start, he would be, if he was
What are we
mentally
talking
sick, right?
Just so you understand, when you're talking about definitions, people can define a thing however they choose to define a thing, right? As long as it's coherent, makes sense, and it's indicative of the thing which it's pointing at, that's totally fine. So, you know, as far as the definition goes, I don't see any actual problem.
I see what you're saying. I just feel like you're excusing his behavior,
Bruh.
which I don't
I'm not
love.
excusing.
I just feel like by arguing about it this much, you're excusing
this
the
is
behavior and
phenomenal.
saying it's okay, even though you wouldn't do it to your wife.
It's
And even though
phenomenal.
your daughter, if
It's
a guy
okay.
did this to her, you wouldn't love it. So
Yeah,
I just
so
feel like you're
why are
excusing
you-
it.
Why are you lying and saying I said it was okay? When did I ever
I
say
don't
that?
think he
You're
ever
not
said
saying it's
that.
okay,
I
but
really
fighting
don't
about
think
it
he
this
said that.
much, it just
Those
seems like you're
words did not
excusing
come out of
it.
his
Is this a fucking joke? Somebody tell me this is a fucking joke. Tell me, somebody.
mouth specifically.
No, I literally never
Unless they
said
did,
anything
he's
was
not
okay.
lying.
What I said was I gave an argument for how you can map feelings onto a situational reality where the feelings don't mean that that is the truth of the matter. Instead of contending with what I said, you interjected your feelings and then made up shit I didn't even say because of how my words made you feel.
Yeah, that feel like be messing up a lot of situations for real. She took him disagreeing with her logic about her feelings that the boyfriend would abuse the daughter because he punches walls as him minimizing the boyfriend's actions. Nah, that's that feel like again. That man ain't say nothing close to that, bruh. And if I'm gonna be honest, these be the situations that'll make you question whether or not they exaggerated the event between her daughter and the boyfriend. I'm just saying, bruh.
I agree.
I just think by making all these comparisons, it seems like you're condoning it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's an opinion.
That's an accusation,
Well,
not an
okay,
opinion.
well, it seems like you
Accusation, it's an
condone
opinion.
essay. By the way that you talk, you condone
on air,
essay.
too. That's crazy.
Because I feel that way. I just feel like you're the type of person who
On
condones
live
essay. I feel like
broad-
it,
Live broadcast is crazy.
right?
SA?
Yeah,
What's essay?
it's a
So-
word, but
Do you not know what that is?
Term here, words.
yeah, I just feel like that. I feel like you're the type of person who does, because I feel that way. Who needs proof, right? We can just make whatever allegations we want just based on how we feel, right?
There will be physical proof.
You know, in my opinion, behind every action, there is something deeper that actually motivating that action. So I'll give you an example from my personal life, between me and my husband. I call it pizza example. He got really, really mad because pizza was not done correctly. You know what was before that? I wanted to make pizza and lay in the pepperoni in a certain way to make it really perfect. He wanted the pepperoni to be laid in one level, right? So he got mad that I haven't done it. But what is not understood, I mean, you can interpret his reaction by that he is an asshole, that he got mad, but in reality what happened, you gotta look in the past. His mom was pushing the food on him that he absolutely didn't like. It triggered a certain emotion. I had a critical parent who things were not good enough. So I tried to overcompensate where he felt like he was not heard. So is it about pizza? It's not.
Right.
It's
right.
all
So-
of the stuff that is
So
underneath.
this is a good example. You're saying, okay, so now feelings are involved and other things are going on in the material world which are backed by the feelings that we can look at. But it's up to interpretation here, right? There's a lot of interpretation which goes into the feeling. And so that's all I'm trying to say is that, when you say things like you're mitigating DV, right? Or you're trying to somehow make it seem like it's not as bad as it is. Quite the opposite. What I'm doing is adhering to a standard for how we can even judge these things coherently without slander and accusation and innuendo and backbiting and front stabbing and all that shit. Rather, some type of appeal to a standard which is unerring and doesn't change. Something that would be backed by evidence and not feelings. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man, the sad reality of it is as long as people have social media and an audience of people that agree with how they feel, bruh, what they feel is always going to be real. Whether they dead wrong or not. As long as they have people agree with their nonsense, it's validated. I knew I wasn't the only one that feel like that. If everybody operated off of how they felt rather than stop and think about their actions, bro, the world would be chaotic as hell. Now, am I saying that man get a pass for getting mad like that and punching walls? Nah, but you can't automatically assume that he would do the same to your daughter. Now, on the other hand, if you with somebody that could make you that mad, then y'all don't need to be together. What I want to know is how many 16-year-old boys do you expect to be able to manage their emotions, bro? They still going through puberty. I don't know, man, but let me know what y'all think in the comments section. That where your brain come from, girl, almost made my damn head hurt. If you mess with the content, man, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. And if y'all trying to be down with the tribe, hit that notification bell as well, you know what I'm saying? I go by the name of OG Fuego, and y'all tune in to OG Fuego Reaction. All right, I'ma holler at y'all in a minute.